and welcome to the second episode of the Rideau Knits podcast. My name is Cassie, and I am the maker behind Rideau Knits, and there are two places you can find me on the internet. I am on Ravelry and Instagram as Rideau Knits, and links for those will be in the description below, along with links to anything that I talk about in this episode. So it's been a week, and I've done lots of knitting, but I haven't finished anything in the last week, which is totally okay. It's only been a week. But first, I should probably talk about what I am wearing. So this beast that I'll take off is my Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry, and it is gigantic. So it starts down here and it fades all the way like this, and then fades back into that. So it is, I think, taller than I am. So it's like probably 6 feet long. I knit this out of Artfill yarn in their Bell base, and I don't remember what the colorways are because I got it as a 5 skein fade kit, and I don't think they all had colorway names with them, but I love the color. This like dark blue and the purple are my favorite, and I wear this all the time. I usually wear it shawl style like I am right now, just because it's so long that if I was to wear it like a scarf, I just end up drowning in it like a snowman. So generally I wear it shawl style, wrapped around my shoulders, and it keeps me nice and warm. I often wear it to work and then just leave my ends kind of hanging, or if I'm trying to do something that's a little more hands-on, I tie the ends behind my back so it's so they're out of the way. So I knit this out using the called for needles, and I will put a link to my Ravelry project page for this in the description below. If I keep looking down, it's because the dog decided to lay right here and she's being a bit of a pain. And yeah, I really like it. It's really warm. It is a single ply yarn, so there's some pilling at the edges where there's a lot of wear, but it's really not pilling that much. So there's just a little bit on the edges, which is fine, which I knew would happen with a single ply yarn. Bye, Shadow. All right, so my works in progress for this week are pretty much all the same as they were last week, but I have made a lot of progress on each of them. So work in progress is my habitation throw. This is a blanket pattern by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade, and I am still working away on it. So this is the start, and I am still going. That was the point where then I started decreasing. And when I finished recording, or when I recorded last week, I was on this red section where the marker is over here. You can't see it. So I was at the end of the red section. So I've done 2 full color sections since last week. And I have just added in the next color, which is this gorgeous blue. And then after this one, there's only 2 more colors for me to do of the minis. Then if I get to the end and for some reason it doesn't work out and I still have a little bit left to go, I'll use the Christmas Day skein as well. to finish it off. So these are the Chromatic Yarns Advent minis. So Hannah from the Corner of Craft dyes Dungeons and Dragons themed minis for her Advent calendar, and these are the 2020 colorways. All of the colorway names and the order that they're in will be in my Ravelry project page, which I'll link down below. So my next work in progress has also got a lot of love this week. It's also got a million ends, not a million ends, but it's all tangled. So it is this sweater, and the marker here in the middle is where I finished, or where I was when I recorded last week. So this is the Stardust sweater by Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarns. And I've split for the sleeves. As you can see, they're on stitch holders. And I am currently working on the body. So I am loving this pattern. I don't know if you can see it very well because it's dark. With the cables and the baubles. Normally I don't like baubles, but since there's only 4 on each side for each repeat of the chart, it's not too bad, and they're pretty small baubles, so it's pretty easy to whip them out pretty fast. So I'm loving this. The yarn is Patton's Classic Wool DK Superwash. And it is in the Mocha colorway, which is just a deep chocolatey brown color that I got from my in-laws for Christmas. So I'm really loving this. I am using the called for needles, which was a US 6, which is 4mm, and a US 8, which is a 5mm, I believe. I could be wrong. Nope, that's right. So using the called for needles for this, and I'm pretty sure I'm knitting the 49-inch size, so I think it's the 5th size that she offers, and I love it. I can't wait to wear it. I just want to keep working on this. This is my TV knitting when my husband and I are watching TV in the evenings. My next whip is a sock whip. It is the Sprocket Socks by Megan Nodecker of Pip and Pin. And I was knitting these kind of 2 at a time on separate needles. And I regret that decision. As I'm trying to pull it out of the bag, it is just a crazy tangled mess. Because there's 5 different colors that you have to keep track of, it's not, you always have at least 3 colors, or the way I've been doing it is I always have at least 3 colors on or attached to my knitting at the same time. So I've been knitting the color change. So before I get into it, this is what I have. So this is the second sock. I have knit the whole leg, I've done the heel, and I am just started the foot. And the first sock, I am just a little bit further. So I've knit the leg and done the heel, and I am on the 3rd color on the foot, or just starting the 4th color on the foot. So what I found is, first, I'm not very good at doing these color changes. They're a slip stitch situation, and I am having a hard time keeping my tension loose enough so that it doesn't pucker. So I'm getting like a pucker and then it's wider, and then a pucker, and then it's wider, which I'm hoping will block out, but if not, then it's not the end of the world. It's just a little inconvenient. So if anyone has any tips on how to make that, or how to keep that consistently looser, let me know. I did a German short row heel. The pattern calls for just a regular short row heel, or a fish lips kiss heel, which I've never done. I just did a German short row heel because I find it pretty easy. Yeah, if I was to knit these again, which I probably will, I would switch the slip stitch detail and instead do stranded color work. I think it would be easier to alternate that way, and there goes the dog again. And easier to keep my tension fairly consistent so I'm not getting this puckering effect. But I do really like it, and the yarn that I'm using for these is the Woolberry Fiber Company's 2020 Lord of the Rings themed advent calendar. So these are the first 5 colorways, or the first 5 days from the advent calendar. And they are called, this one is Middle Earth, the White Wizard Approaches. This gold color is called Samwise the Brave. This color, which I think is my favorite, the green with like these maroony pops and speckles, is called Concerning Hobbits. And this creamy brown color is called If I Take One More Step. So I really love the colors, and I think, yeah, I love it. I love the way it looks. They fit good. I've tried them on, so they fit good so far, and I can't wait to have them done and blocked and on my feet. And they are currently living in this bag that I got from Camp Yukon, and the label is in here. So she is a bag maker who lives in Whitehorse in the Yukon. I actually grew up, or like went to elementary school in the Yukon. Right now I live in Ontario, and have for the last long time, 20 years, 17 years. My family's lived back in Ontario, but we did for 6 years, or 7 years, live in the Yukon, which was awesome. So yeah, I like this bag. I like that it has the wrist strap to carry around. Hopefully the dog is not too loud, or I'm gonna have to re-record all of this. And my last previous whip is this scarf. This is the A Walk Through Aspens scarf by Kalura Hudson of While They Play Designs. So the row counter is where I left off last time. I ripped out and redid a big section because I miscrossed some of my cables, which is fine. So I still have a ways to go. I think you're supposed to repeat the chart 26 times, and I definitely have not done 26 repeats of it. I've only done 7. So I have a lot more to go, but I am enjoying it, and the cable pattern, the center cable detail, is starting to become a little more intuitive now that I've done it a few times. I keep double checking the chart because I don't want to have to rip it out again. And I am knitting it out of Patton's Classic Wool Worsted in the Natural Mix colorway. All right, so my last work in progress is a brand new one, and I started last night. I've got the dog here. I cast on last night these socks for my dad. Hannah, the corner of craft, decided to do what she's calling the lockdown sock down knit along, and she's in the UK. The UK has just had their lockdown extended and I think increased, and here in Ontario we are currently in lockdown until the end of January. So I decided to join in and cast on a pair of socks using some yarn I had in my stash for my dad. So this is what I've got done so far, and it is a 64 stitch sock. The cuff is done in 1x1 rib, and so I finished the leg and I'm currently working on the heel flap. Oh. So I'm doing just a basic slip stitch heel flap. I'm not very far into it right now. And the yarn I am using is Premier Wool Free Sock. And you can get this on Amazon. It comes in packs of 3 50-gram balls. Is that what they are? So outside of all the knitting I've been doing this last week, I have also been practicing spinning. My husband got me a vintage spinning wheel from a local guy selling his. That was his parents'. And so far I have filled the bobbin with a very how do I describe it? It's very thick and thin. I have been practicing, so it's not great, but I'm getting a lot better. My spin is getting a lot more consistent, and I am finding it a lot easier to treadle and draft the fiber. So right now I'm using this kind of brownish gray fiber. I think it's a merino, but I can't remember. I got it from one of the local yarn stores in Ottawa, carries spinning fiber, and it's pretty soft. And I'll insert clips of me spinning, and then I'll insert a picture of what my bobbin looks like, all full as well. It's been great. I really like it. I really am enjoying spinning and getting in the zone of drafting and treadling and watching the yarn fill up the bobbin. I'm really enjoying it. So I did order 3 braids of different fibers from Created by LCB. I think I got a Polworth, a Rambouillet, and a Merino. I think the last one is a Merino, but I can't. Oh no, it's a BFL. So I'm excited to see the differences between the fibers that I get and how they spin up, and to practice spinning up singles and trying to ply. So next I need to figure out how I'm going to get the yarn that's on my bobbin onto some sort of storage bobbin situation, which I don't own any, and I have no idea where to get them. So I need to figure that out so that I can take that off, so I can spin more of this as singles, so I can try plying. I think I'm gonna try a 2-ply first and see how it goes. We'll see, who knows. Just because I don't think I'm going to be patient enough to spin up a 3rd ply or a 3rd single to try plying 3 plies. So I definitely want to keep spinning more, and definitely need to look. So that's all of the fiber content I have for today. Thank you for joining me and staying this long in the video, and I hope to see you next week as well. All of the links for everything that I've talked about will be in the description box below, and all the places you can find me on the internet are linked down there as well. Have a great week and happy knitting! So I'm pretty sure I knit this on the called for needles. Shadow, lay down. Lay down. No. Give me that yarn. No. Apparently I can't record podcasts when anyone is in our house, including the dog. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to